morning, everyone. Welcome back. I see some familiar faces, which is good. My name is Catalina. I'm an executive in the domestic development team here at ICMS, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to this session. This is the Bachelor of Hospitality Management. So what we're going to do today is I have two special guests. So basically here with me, it's the faculty member. This is Glen. He's been in the hospitality industry for years, and he's a program manager for both our Bachelor of Hospitality Management and our Bachelor of International Tourism. So he will tell you a little bit more about what we do here at ICMS with hospitality and tourism. And then we also have a student speaker today. So I'll leave you with Glen, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Welcome everyone, welcome to ICMS, and more importantly, welcome to hospitality management. Yeah, for me, this is the easiest job in the world because I've lived and breathed hospitality for, I can say 25, that's probably more like 35, if I really want to think about it. Years, first in back of house as a qualified chef, and then I moved to front of house in hotels, and then I moved into academia as well. So I've really seen it from a lot of different levels. So for me, this is really easy talking about what we do and the hospitality degree. The college was known as a hospitality college originally, and even now we still have the highest number of students studying hospitality than any other degree in the college. So it's still really a foundation subject for us, and we're very proud of that and proud of our history as well. So let's have a little look at some of the, some of the intricacies of the degree. Some of you may have seen some presentations already, but we'll show you what we have in hospitality. So firstly, what type of person are you, and what sort of person do you need to thrive in this industry? Well, you have to be passionate about service. You have to really enjoy looking after people and making them happy, a desire to travel, be organised, friendly, but also too passionate too. Just recently we had a bit of a meeting, and Jack, our student here, couldn't make the meeting. He was down skiing, down in Perisher I think it was, and he zoomed in on the slopes with his phone, and that's a dedication for you as far as I'm concerned, and that's the sort of dedication you've got to have to be successful in tourism. Well done, Jack. So what does your future career look like? Well, it's not just carrying plates and serving drinks, although it can be a big part of that. And so we teach a lot of the practical aspects here to get you into the industry, hotels and restaurants, etc. But we're looking at the management side of it here, hotel management, hotel sales and marketing, food and beverage director. It's basically planes, trains and automobiles really as far as hospitality is concerned. Aircraft, hotels, trains, and even moving into tour guiding as well. Hospitality and tourism are resilient. I mean, we have to be. Look what we've had to face in the last 2 years. But it's really come back in the last 2 years, and hospitality and tourism will always be in trend. So we've always got jobs available. I don't think I've been out of work since I was 17. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but for me it is. So there's always plenty of work. And also too, resort management and spa. We're developing a subject in the next year or so around resort management, looking at some of the skills you need to run those resorts. With a flexible learning option, of course, we've got the two campuses. Most of our practical classes for hospitality are held here at the castle. You're in the grand dining room here, so this is where we do a lot of our practical subjects, our dining room, some of our food and beverage subjects we do in this dining room here. And we limit our classes to 12. The reason for that is because we want to be able to focus on your skill to make sure that your customer service is 100%. We don't have big classes. We limit food and beverage and our bar and mixology classes to 12 people. So we have a few classes obviously, but we want to make sure that you get those skills. Some of the core subjects are being run in the city, some of the business core. And of course we have the usual study patterns as well. So you can do the full 4 subjects per trimester for 2.5 years, and that'll give you the degree. So you can see here there's a bit of a rundown. You can see how the first, second and third year run. For the first year, 3 trimesters, 4 subjects in each. Quite often they will incorporate the core subjects first, so you'll have 9 core, 2 specialisations and an elective for the first year, and that allows you to get ready then for the second year. Industry training is the second year for 2 terms, 300 hours for each. It doesn't necessarily sit at 4 and 5 because in term 6 it tends to be when you do your food and beverage and your bar. So we tend to move that around a little bit. Term 4 tends to be your in-house subjects, and then your work integrated learning tends to be 5 and 6. And then on your third year, you've got the final few subjects there. You've got 8 subjects. So you can finish it in 2.5 years. So why are we the best in business? Well, I think it's because we've got 5 key focus areas, and that is the graduate capabilities. So what is it that we see our students walking out with at the end with their degree? We look at those student portfolios, so those key moments in time, if you like, the subjects that you study, you'll have key points that you walk away with. Active learning means that we get out in the industry and we speak to professionals, we have field work, and we have master classes here as well. We had Neil Perry here this year as well, talking about some of his activities and how to run restaurants and some of the difficulties that he's faced and how hospitality has helped him get over that. Continual assessments, we have assessments from basically week 4 on. So as you learn new material, you're then assessed on it, and then we move on through that to the final assessment in week 11 or so. And the courses are designed with the assessments. What is the outcome of this subject? The assessments are based on the outcome, and then the topics then are rolled around that. So we just don't teach you something because we think, well, that might be interesting. We teach you stuff that you really need to know in the industry. These are some of your graduate capabilities I was talking about. We have 7. Professional expertise, agile leadership, innovation or innovative problem solving, global citizenship, skill collaboration, independent self-management, and of course technology and information literacy. You can see Daniel there, who was working at the Star. He's now the rooms director of the Atlantis Hotel in Dubai now, so he's moved across into that. So he's doing a wonderful job over there at the moment. I must look him up, see if I can get a few discounts. I'll be looking you up too. Career focus, 90% of our students have a career or have a job before they graduate. And that's based a lot on our work integrated learning process. We get you out there in the industry, they give you some training, and quite often that training will continue past the work integrated learning process. So on weekends, for example, they might be offered a position in the job that they had for Will. Our first 2 subjects, as you can see there, our core pathways to success. We've got specialisation there, introduction to tourism. Our pathways in our specialisation in trimester 2, rooms division operation. And in 3 there, you can see that we've got a 200 level elective, so that's your first year. A great combination of not only specialisation subjects, but business subjects. So accounting, economics, entrepreneurship. So these are subjects that will help you with your business and move into a management position. The second year, you can see there with the work integrated learning, 300 hours for each of those, and plus a full trimester there with food and bev, bar and mixology, and gastronomy in there as well. We do a lot of field trips with those subjects also. We have a hunter trip that we've just been on to, we've just come back, where we go to the Hunter Valley and do some wine tasting, some wine appreciation. We go to a cider factory, and also we go to a place where they make vodka, so we can have a look to see how they make it and look at some of the vodka as well. I think this year we're actually trying to get a trip to Adelaide, down to Adelaide Hills with these subjects as well. We talk with the professionals. 200 level electives that you can choose from here. You can see that you might want to have a look at perhaps events, you might want to look at some sports, you might want to look at some marketing perhaps. You can choose a hospitality degree and then sort of have a look at specialising in marketing. We have 1 200 level and 3 300 level electives that you can pad with potentially other subjects if you want to, entrepreneurship, marketing, events, those types of things. With professional placement, we help you get ready for that interview to go out and get that work placement. We set you up with interview trials, we help you write your resume, we really outline what the industry is expecting once you get out there. Part of the reason why we dress in business attire is to get you ready to work in a business environment. So it's not something new for you, you like this every day. For some other colleges, you don't have to dress in business attire, and for them it's a little bit awkward once they go into the business. The experience itself allows you to be trained by these environments, and it sets up a creation of looking at a set of skills which is transferable through a number of different environments. We've got over 1,000 partners at the moment, and these partners are happy to train our students. We've got, and these are through memberships and also through sponsorships as well. The third year, your third and final year, we move into some slightly more demanding subjects, let's say. You're a 300 level student now, third year, so they'll be a little bit more analytical as well. And so we've got subjects like our hotel simulation, where you actually run a hotel for 3 years with a group, and you take that from a negative position where you're losing money, and you and your group have got technically 3 years to turn this hotel around. And that's using all the subjects that you've incorporated through your 3 years, your marketing, your human management, all those other strategies that you've come up with. And then finally you got your 300 level electives to finish up. Your electives again can be from any area that you wish. Again, you might have a bit of an events focus, you might have a tourism focus where you want to look at doing some tourism subjects, and you can pick those up as you wish. So there's 3 by 300 level subjects. We've also got 300 level electives in hospitality as well. So for example, international restaurant concepts is an elective subject. So as you know, there are 5 ways potentially that you can enrol. You can apply direct online on the website, and you can go ahead and do that now. Early entry, so year 12 students who are looking at moving into the degree can apply. The alternate entry works in a similar way, school recommendation scheme and the UAC. Intake times, we have 3 major intake times. We have January, May and August. We do have a few accelerated programs happening in between that. They tend to be a little compressed over 3 days, and you've got to do 6 hours per day. So we would recommend that the 3 major intakes would be the way to go. February seems to be our strongest, followed by May, but also too, August this year has been an incredible month for us as well. There's a list of other degrees as well that you can do. The Bachelor of Hospitality Management is a standalone degree. It's not a Bachelor of Business specialisation, so it's not a Bachelor of Business Marketing, Bachelor of Business Entrepreneurship, it's a Bachelor of Hospitality Management. So you can see the other degrees that we do here as well. I think we're adding another few in a couple of years, I think, or next year I think we're adding a few more. Okay, that's really all I've got to present in this particular area. As I said, hospitality has been a fantastic environment for me and the students that have gone through. There's been a great level of success, and I hope I can answer some of your questions a little later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Glen. Now here with me, I'd like to introduce you to Jack Parsons. He's an amazing student. I remember he started out, he's in his first year at the moment, and then I can remember him applying for early entry last year. He always stood out. After that, he was a scholarship recipient, so still is. When he started, he jumped into a position as student ambassador. Then after that, vice president of the Student Representative Council. And at the moment, he just got the senior student ambassador role. So he's doing a bit of everything here. And yeah, he's in his first year of the Bachelor of Hospitality Management. So welcome.
Thank you very much. To have a little thing prepared, but I won't follow it too much. But I do want to say thank you all for coming, representing hospitality. When I first began to investigate like universities and colleges, I knew that I didn't want a large-scale experience. I didn't want to be lost. I didn't want to feel like I'm just a number or someone that's in the corner and the lecturer doesn't know who I am. I was after a more tailorized personal experience. And two things that attracted me to come to ICMS was the personalized experience and the industry training that I could gain whilst being here. I also found that the early entry process, it was very insightful, and I learnt many things along the way through that process. I also knew that I didn't want a career sitting behind a desk all day. I didn't want a career where I'd work the regular 9 to 5. I wanted to be out there serving customers. So I thought, hospitality management, let's do it. And I want to help people create memories. I've had a wonderful life so far, and I've been able to travel around the world and be able to get so many memories from traveling, and I want to create memories for other people. I want to be able to have someone come into my place and go, wow, this is amazing, and as soon as they leave, it's just in their head that I want to go back, I want to go back, I want to go back, and they tell everyone about it. And that's what inspired me to come and study Bachelor of Hospitality Management, and especially here at ICMS, because it gets you the fundamentals of being able to do that. I also knew that ICMS was developed in conjunction with Caesar Ritz. It's a Swiss hotel school, and it has the most comprehensive training in Australia here. And since beginning the program, I've really enjoyed the subjects that I've been taking. And I've been taking subjects where it's not just hospitality. I get to learn the business fundamentals, and then I also get to do hospitality subjects, and I'm quite looking forward to biomixology, I'm not going to lie, to be able to learn a bit more about that. I'm also very practical and learn by putting my skills into practice. So in that internship that we get in the second year, it'll be so good to be able to learn more about that, to be able to apply my practical skills and apply my learning skills to that. I also recognize that hospitality management, it's not only about the hospitality side, it's about getting grounding in all the business fundamentals and softer skills and leadership that would enable me to apply these in my own business, a more global scale business, or in the tourism events areas. So I'm grateful that the course comes with that. I've been lucky enough to be able to participate in a wide range of experience and opportunities since joining ICMS. Firstly, as I mentioned, I was very lucky enough to start my degree with early entry. That was amazing. I could sit my HSC knowing that I'm here, knowing that I'm already here. I've got a place sorted here. So I do urge everyone to apply for early entry when you can. It took so much pressure off, and I was going through the whole really unsure of COVID stuff, and I was worried because there was no on like in-face open days. It was all online, and I was like, oh, how do I connect? How do I do this? And I got early entry, and I was so over the moon. So I really urge everyone here to apply for early entry when that comes around. I was then given a scholarship opportunity, and I can remember the day I got the phone call, and I was like, oh my God, I got it. I got a scholarship. And I like jumped up, and I was next to my mum, and she was screaming, and oh, poor person, whoever's on the phone. But yeah, so I do also urge everyone to apply for a scholarship. This college is looking for reasons to give you a scholarship. They're not looking reasons for you to not get one. They want to give you one. So present yourself the best, apply, put everything into it, because I urge you to do that. I highly encourage any student that does attend this college to grab every opportunity that comes your way. I came here with a big open mind about anything that was going to happen, because I was still unsure, even if I wanted to do a degree. And I want everyone that comes here to grab the opportunity, grab anything that comes to you. You don't know what it will come of, you don't know how much it will help you in the future, but I want to urge everyone, as soon as you get the opportunity, grab it. Could set you up, and there's so many ways that you can have opportunity here. I also have a very strong passion for student welfare. As Catalina mentioned, I am the SRC Vice President, and I really want to enhance the student experience here. When I got here, we'd just come out of COVID, and it was it hadn't been kicked back up yet, and I worked really hard to get that back up and running, to get the student experience going again through the SRC. Just this week gone, we had on Wednesday night, we had a lovely cocktail tasting night. Friday we had trivia, and last night we had an end of trimester party, which I'm still a bit tired from, not gonna lie. So yeah, there's also a lot of sporting opportunities here. We're always looking to create more sporting opportunities. We've got uni games coming up, September 24th to 29th, and that's when all the universities, colleges, they head on over to Perth and they compete against each other, and it's a great way to network, showcase the university and colleges. So yeah, I would highly recommend studying at ICMS, as I've had the time of my life so far, and I can't wait to see what comes about and what I can do, and I can't wait for the industry placement. I really want to go to Hayman Island, and it's really cool that I could go to Hayman Island, and that's a part of my degree. It's a part of what I'm studying, it's a part of my degree, it's not a holiday, whilst it might seem like one. So yeah, I urge everyone, ICMS is amazing. I'm having the time of my life, and I think you guys would too. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jack. That was perfect. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm going to open it up for a little Q&A. I don't know if there are any questions around for Glen or for Jack, maybe from any applicants, parents. Perfect.
Thank you for that informative talks. From the placement in the second year, can you just maybe outline a little bit of the types of work or experience that the students would have? And I assume also it's not paid, so it's a...
Paid. Yeah, it's paid, yeah. Yeah, that's sort of one of our criteria, that when our students go out to work in industry, that it's a paid position. So they're not just there, the last thing we want to do is send someone off to a hotel and they spend, 300 hours peeling carrots. That's not our bag. We're very, very specific about what it is that our students do when we go there. So we vet who the industry partner is at the particular time. So, and depending on the experience of the student as well, the student might be already working in industry and they might have a great food and beverage background already. So then they might be looking for a food and beverage supervisor's position. They might be looking at doing some front of house, looking at subjects like rooms division, things like that as well, front office check-in. So our students get a variety of subjects, in hotels, not only in Sydney, but Jack's looking to go to Hayman Island. And we've got a connection with Disney in Orlando as well, so we send our students to those environments also. So really it comes down to what the student wants to do, and we give them access to our partners. They've got to write the resume, they've got to attend the interview. So we give them all the tools to be able to do that. So you've got to be able to market yourself in that environment. So yeah, really it's whatever you want to do, we can sort of find a spot for you. So.
The whole experience at ICMS, students always describe it as personalized, and the fact that we have a dedicated full-time team that just works in getting new industry partners all the time. You've probably heard this, but we have over 1,000 industry partners in every industry. So the fact that we take the time to sit down, get to know them, get to know where they want to go, because they can all be doing the same Bachelor of Hospitality Management, but they all have different dreams. They all want to go different parts of the world. They all want to specialize in different things. So that's really the big difference. So the fact that we take the time to just sit down, have an initial interview with them the trimester before they go on placement, just so we make sure that they have the time to find a place. We give them the tools, but we give them the time and the attention to find specifically what they want. Any other questions? Sorry.
I was just going to add on to that as well, that even though you might be working in Uncle Toby's restaurant, for example, and you might think I can actually write down my 600 hours of working in that restaurant. We prefer you not to do that, because we want you to try something different. The whole idea of the work and great experience is so that when you get out into the industry is actually giving you some training as well. So they're training you in what they want you to be also. We can give you the basics, and we give you all those practical skills to go out there. And at the Marriott, for example, they might have a slightly different system to the Hilton. Hayman Island might have a slightly different system somewhere else. So wherever you go, they're going to stylise you into, this is how we do things here. And this is about being flexible as a student. You can't say, well, hang on, in class we did it this way. You may have done it that way, and that's a great learning tool, but also there's this way and there's that way. There's no necessarily wrong way. It's about adding practical skills to your arsenal, if you like, saying, well, I've seen it done 3 different ways. Which way would you like me to do it? So that's a key element to it as well.
Sorry, just a follow-up question. With regards to the 2 trimesters that industry experience occurs, what's the involvement that ICMS has through that process with the student?
Through that experience, the student has to submit some assessments as well. So we don't just lob you there and say, see you in 2 months, which would be good. We'd like to do that sometimes. But they have a program. So the program is set up for them. So we monitor their progress. They have assessments that they've got to complete through that as well. So it might be an assessment on management style, for example. So they have to analyse the different management styles. How does this work? Does it work? How would you suggest that you could have done this process? So in it it's a real learning process, not only from a practical perspective, but also from a theoretical practical side of it as well. So, and they've got to be able to pass those theoretical aspects in order for them to pass the integrated learning. And we keep in contact with them to make sure that they're okay. Occasionally the WIL program coordinator, so for hospitality it's Maria, and she looks after all my hospitality students. She'll keep in contact with them, make sure that the assessments that are due are coming in on time. And so they're monitored pretty closely. Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? Please.
We've heard a lot about some of the hotels and resorts that you work with, but from a restaurant perspective, are there restaurant groups that you also work with, like Merivale or those sorts of people that the kids are placed with, and maybe what, other than the sort of the flagship venues that I imagine are quite competitive to get into, what could you give us some of the more mainstream and understanding of sort of some of the...
so we have relationships, for example, with Pilu down in Freshwater, with Neil Perry, with some of his group, also too with Merivale, so also a lot of independent restaurants as well. And again, we want to make sure that they're actually participating in that, so it's not that they're taking up a vegetable prep position, whether it be front of house or back of house. So really, again, if the student even sees a restaurant that they'd really like to work in, they can contact our team. We can make the initial contact to see if they're interested in that program, and then we can go from there. Yeah.
Thank you. I saw another hand there somewhere.
I've got a couple of questions. Greg, you mentioned there are subjects that are done here on site, but you also mentioned there were subjects being done in Sydney?
We do some core at the Sydney campus. Some of the early core, so the 100 level subjects are quite often taught on campus. It becomes a bit of a demand sort of process if the demand is there. If the demand is not there, then we'll generally keep it here on campus, here at Manly, within that. And a couple of those core subjects also too are online as well currently. Over COVID, we had a lot of our practical subjects. As you can imagine, it was difficult to do food and beverage and bar and mixology online. But we did it. Surprisingly enough, we had people making cocktails in Canada and filming it and serving it to mum and dad as if they were the guests. Mum and dad was a little, after they've made 4 cocktails. But yeah, primarily the practical classes are here online with the occasional core class done in the city.
Just adding on to that, all the core business subjects are in the city just because we want to give them the flexibility. So that's why we have in the city and Manly all core business subjects, which you can be doing, say, a hospitality management degree, but then you can be sitting next to someone that's doing event management or sports management, because they all have the same business fundamental. But then that's why we want to just push the practical experience here in Manly. So that's why we want to do it face-to-face and in Manly. That's why all the core specializations are in Manly. But they still have the options to, for their core business subjects, go either online, in the city, or just everything in Manly.
Okay, and just want to jump on the Hayman Island bandwagon. There is a course there that's being offered to students where you can actually do the hospitality course on Hayman Island. So, you know, I can't remember your name.
Jack.
Why not just go do that course? Why come here?
I think, especially for me, I want to branch out as far as I can with everywhere. I did look at going there when I was comparing all my options, and I saw that there was a case study here at ICMS where a student went and did their industry placement at Hayman Island, and then there was also the school there, and I was like, oh, let me go to ICMS. They have the industry training, they have the connections, they have all the industry professionals, and then I can do my placement at Hayman Island, and that gives me a bit of experience in both areas. And yeah, I did fundamentally want to go to ICMS as well. I just thought it was a bit better as a whole round college in that sense.
Greg, what's your comments to that?
Yeah, the one on the island is owned by Malfa, which is the hotel school in Sydney. I've worked for the hotel school in Sydney. And so I know their program, where they've been able to link with the Intercontinental, and Hayman Island's run by the Intercontinental. So you're structured around the Intercontinental. So the training that you get there is based around one hotel's perspective, and they're limited up there with their trainers as well. So basically, you get to work at the island as well. I don't know whether anyone's ever worked on an island. I mean, it's great fun for a little while, but you're trapped. You're on an island. So with us, we're able to offer that as a work integrated learning experience, but we're able to offer everything else as well with we're not stuck into just having the Intercontinental's ideas on how things are run.
And just how do you compare yourself to the Lura course in the Blue Mountains?
Blue Mountains, yeah. I mean, we've both got a hospitality program. Again, with our bachelors, we have a very strong lecturer cohort that are in the industry currently. We practice more of the management structure side of it. They tend to look at a little bit of the front of house side within that. We do a little bit of the waitering and plate carrying. We give you the practical skills to be able to do that. But we're very much focused on the management side of it and giving you those skills within that. So good balance of business plus hospitality within that as well.
Thank you. Any other questions? We're just running a bit out of time, but any last minute questions? No? Amazing. Well, I just want to thank you everyone for taking the time to come today. I hope you had a fun day. Not sure if you're staying for the next and last session, but yeah, we really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.